Welcome to The Grind, a podcast about the church planting process and missional strategies to make disciples of all nations. Coming to you from the offices of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, here are your hosts, Dave McClung and Chad Grigsby.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our new every other week, bi-weekly, I guess you would say, Big Idea recap. And so this is our fourth?
Third or fourth.
Oh, yeah. So Dad, Bill, Ryan, Rodney, and now Chris. So number four. So you'd think that after a while we'd get better at this, but guys, come on.
We're really bad with the old numbers.
It's not going to happen. Just do not set your expectations so high. This is what it is. It's what you got. And, so it's good though. It's good. It's good to hang out with us.
It's good.
So anyway, so we're going to recap podcast with Chris Sims, our buddy out in Casper, Wyoming at Wind City Church and the Forever West Network. Let me just go ahead and point this out as well. Chad's flaunting his Tennessee flag and I just couldn't stand for it anymore. So I had to bring a little Razorback red to the party. And so anyway, okay, now back to Chris. Big idea with Chris, I'll tell you, and this is something that we're just going to have to keep talking about till guys are courageous enough to do it. And that's to plant pregnant. To plant already with your second plant in mind.
Yep.
And so for all of us that think, okay, we can't do this, we don't have enough people, don't have enough resources, don't have enough time, whatever. Now I know Wyoming is a little bit more desperate for church planters maybe than in Arkansas. There are fewer church plants, fewer churches out there. The need is greater to some extent. But they've been out there 3.5 years and are working on their 7th church plant. Mm-hmm. And so just incredible. Run about 140, he said. And so, just incredible that they're doing this.
Yeah, you don't have to be a 10-year-old church. You don't have to have 500 people. You don't have to have a budget the size of California. Although I will say their budget, 50% of their budget goes to church planting.
Yeah.
Even for a plant, that's that's a commitment to church planting.
Yeah.
And, you just really have to be committed to it and make it a part of your DNA. If you do that, anybody can do it. I really believe that.
Well, and that's one of the things he said, that I don't know that everybody that was a part of Wind City Church had that in mind when they started Wind City Church, but Chris certainly did. Yeah. And so you cultivate that culture. And, Dr. Tucker, made a statement today that, guys are looking for that good church full of evangelistic people where there's no conflict and everybody wants to reach people with the gospel. Those don't exist.
Yeah. That's a unicorn.
That's right. You have to develop them.
Yeah, if you find one, trap it. We'd like to study it.
Yes, and if there's a way to clone it, we will clone it.
That's right.
And because it comes back to leadership, and what kind of church do you want to have? Do you want to have a church planting church? Then you have to plant churches. Yeah. You want to have an externally focused church? Then you have to step outside the 4 walls of the building and engage in community. You've got to lead people there.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't, unless I'm mistaken, I don't know that Chris ever helped plant another church before moving to Casper.
Right.
And so, it's not that like you've got to have this education or background in it. This was the first church he started. Now he's helping start churches. So it's a lot of what reminded me of Alan Hirsch's quote, don't plant a church, plant a movement.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if we're going to reach people, especially, I mean, you look at Casper, 94% unchurched, 60 communities without really a life-giving evangelical church.
Yeah.
If you're gonna impact lostness at any type of rate that is lasting, you're gonna have to be multiplying.
Yeah.
Because look at them, 3.5 years, 140 people. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
But they themselves are in a town of 10,000 and they've
Right.
reached 140 folks.
Right.
So it's gonna take it's multiplication or bust in a
Right.
sense. And so yeah, we've got to start thinking along those lines.
Yeah, and to quote Alan again, we've got to quit trying to think our way into a new way of acting. You just got to start. Act your way into a new way of thinking.
Just do it.
Just do it and start something. And now, Wind City Church is not carrying the burden on this all by themselves. They're giving 50% of their budget to church planting, but 140 people, even 50% of the budget is not going to be able to cover all the expenses for 6 church plants. They've got partners, and there are other churches in Wyoming, working with the Wyoming State Convention, and everybody's doing this together. But Chris and those guys at Wind City are the catalyst for all this, and they started this, and so you guys can too. And like we said before, you're not always going to have all the money, all the resources, all the people. Well,
it's the old adage that don't wait till you're ready to have kids. You're never ready.
Right.
Well, it's the same way with church planting. Don't wait to have a kid.
Yeah.
The church planting, since you're never ready. Your church is not going to just magically wake up and go, today's the day we plant churches.
Yeah.
You really do have to be intentional. So plant pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it. You can do it. We promise. We promise. So, all right. Well, hey guys, there's our big idea for today, and chew on that, ponder that. Check out the podcast with Chris if you haven't yet. And if you're interested, planters in planting a second church, call us. We'd love to talk with you. We'd love to help you figure out a way to do it. And I think God wants all of our churches to multiply. He wants all of our disciples to multiply, all of our leaders to multiply. He is a multiplying God, and we want to be fruitful and replenish the earth with His church. So anyway, till next time, we'll see you guys. Adios.
See you later.